Hey guys, Mike Iaconelli here. Welcome to a brand new In the Shop. And I've got a good one for you today. And in today's shop, we're going to be talking about my top 4 baits for the month of December. Top 4 baits for the month of December. If you follow this channel, you know how I'm going to deliver this to you. We're going to give you 2 baits for my anglers that are in the top half of the country. Virginia North, the month of December, we're going to give you 2 baits. If you live down south, we're going to also give you 2 baits for the month of December. The Carolinas down, all the way across to California, straight down, we're going to give you 2 baits for the month of December. Before we get into it, let's talk about December. Guys, December is winter. Winter is here. I don't care where you live in this country, December is true winter. We're talking about, water temperatures if you live up north from the high 30s, if you're way up north, all the way into the 40s and even some 50s if you're down toward Virginia. But even down south, if you're in Alabama or Georgia or Mississippi, December is the beginning of winter. So, winter is truly the start of some of the coldest air temperatures and coldest water temperatures of the year. So, wintertime bass fishing, everything slows down. Everything slows down. The bait fish, the metabolism, the activity level of the fish, everything slows down, okay? So because of that, you really want to alter your bait presentations to baits that are more slow and deliberate. So let's get started. Here are my top 4 baits for the month of December. I want to start with number 1, and this is especially for anglers in the top half of the country. Your water is getting cold. And these fish, a lot of times when they get more lethargic, they're going to drop down toward the bottom, okay? They're going to drop to the bottom. They're going to get in that lower part of the water column. So this first bait is a killer when that's happening. And number 1 for me in the month of December, guys, is a metal blade bait. Metal blade bait. That's that Mullix Trago vibe. I really love this thing. I love it in 3/8, ½ ounce. And the great thing about a metal blade bait is that you can keep that lure near the bottom and make those fish react. When you look at this lure, it really has a shad-shaped body, and it has a vibration on the pull or rise. My number 1 way I'm going to fish this blade bait in December, guys, is the yo-yo style retrieve. So that's casting this blade bait out, and I like to target more vertical banks in December. So wherever you're fishing in the month of December, look for the steeper banks, 45-degree angle banks, even sometimes straight vertical banks, riprap, bridge pilings, seawalls, channel bends that come in toward the bank where there's more of that drop. And when I cast this bait, I let it sink to the bottom. When it hits the bottom, boom, I lift and I let it fall. So when it's lifting, when it falls, guys, the great thing about the blade bait is it looks like a dying bait fish, okay? Really does. So metal blade bait, yo-yo retrieve for fish that have gotten low in the month of December. If you live up north, guys, you got to have some metal blade baits in your arsenal, okay? Number 2 top bait for December for me, and I'm talking about 30 plus years of doing this professionally, 40 years of fishing. I think this number 2 bait in December is one of the best. I don't care if you're in the north or the south. And it is a jig, a skirted jig. Come on, guys. You knew that was coming. Skirted jig. Specifically, guys, in the month of December, I want to take my skirted jig and shrink it down. So I'm a big fan. The colder it is, the smaller I want that jig, the more compact I want that jig. And my 2 favorites, the Missile mini flip jig, of course, small compact design, and the Missile micro football, both compact jig designs, okay? Once again, if you live in a place where your water temperature is cold in December, a lot of those fish, they get on the bottom. Guys, they get on the bottom. Water temperature, drop your trolling motor, you see 50, 48, 46, 42, slow and low on the bottom. They also do a lot of feeding on the bottom. So forage like crawfish and little mud minnows, they become a big deal in the winter. Nothing imitates a crawfish better than a skirted jig, guys. A skirted jig, okay? Before I go on, I do want to talk about the trailer. So I'm dragging this jig on the bottom. I'm taking my time when I'm around cover. I'm letting that skirt expand, just slow dragging it. But I'm a big believer in neutral action trailers on your skirted jig in the month of December, okay? So neutral action trailers, I'm just going to give you my 2 favorites. They are chunk style trailers. This is the Berkley Power Bait Power Chunk. We also have it in Maxcent, so a chunk style trailer. I'll get this out so you can see it. If you remember the old Uncle Josh pork rind, guys, a lot like that. You've got those ears, kind of the pork body, the legs in the back. It's a pork style chunk trailer. But guys, also, you could just use your regular beaver style lures. This is the Maxcent Creature Hog. This is the bait I punch and flip in the summer. Well, I'll take the same bait in the month of December. I'll bite it down. I usually bite it in half on the mini flip. And when I do that, there's just a Maxcent Creature Hog beaver style bait that's half the size. And when I thread it on that mini flip, guys, look at that profile right there. I've got the kicker legs in the back that are just fluid, right? The colder the water, the more neutral I want that trailer. That's a great trailer. It's Maxcent. I love it. Number 2 bait in the month of December, especially for guys, Virginia North, straight across the country. Drag that jig. Nice and slow, guys. Okay. Let's keep going. We're going to go to top bait number 3 in the month of December. Now I'm going to start focusing on the Carolinas south, okay? If you live, draw a line from, Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina, straight across to California. And if you live in that southern part of the country, December, it's still cold, but a winter in December in the bottom half of the country is a little different. So my number 3 bait for the month of December is a Tight-Wobble crankbait. Guys, a Tight-Wobble, usually no rattle crankbait in the month of December is phenomenal. My absolute favorite, and I know you've heard of this one, I don't think there's a better plastic mass-produced flat side out there, period. And it is the Fritz side, okay? This is the Berkeley Fritz side. And guys, I fish it from the size 5 to the 7 to the 9. And with these 3 baits, I can cover that 2-3 foot zone all the way to almost that 15-foot zone with those 3 baits, okay? And that's how I pick them. If I'm fishing in the month of December and it's a warming trend and the fish have moved up into that, 2 to 6 foot, the Fritz side 5 is perfect. If it's a normal December day, it's not ultra cold, it's not ultra warm. If fish are in that 6 to 10 foot, the Fritz side 7 is great. And last but not least, the Fritz side 9 for those cold December days when the fish drop off a little bit deeper. But guys, basically the thing about a crankbait in December, you want a bait that has a ultra tight wobble, and I want a bait that is almost neutral buoyancy. Just like a suspending jerkbait, the great thing about this crankbait is I can hit off something when I deflect off a rock in the month of December, or I deflect off a stump in the month of December, or if I'm in Florida and I deflect off a piece of grass and I stop it, that Fritz side will float ultra slow, almost suspending, just barely floating and sitting there in the water column. So once again, I don't care if you're in New York or Florida, in December, the fish are slowing down. They're getting more dormant. They're getting more lethargic. So that bait just sitting there and slow rising, they can't take it, okay? So love a Tight-Wobble crankbait in the month of December, especially down south. All right, guys, last but not least, and you will hardly ever hear me talk about my number 4 top December bait any other time of the year. And it's partially because this bait gets a bad rap. This bait is sometimes illegal in certain tournament situations. But I'd be making a mistake if I didn't tell you my top number 4 bait for the month of December, especially down south, is the Alabama rig, guys. The old chandelier, the old crab trap. This is the time of the year, early winter, December, down south, when this bait will catch them when nothing else will. All right? So let me set you up for this. The first thing is, not every fish in the winter, in December, will go to the bottom. A lot will. The other half of the fish, the ones that don't go to the bottom, they'll suspend in the winter. They'll get out there sometimes in 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 feet of water and suspend around the bait fish. It's December, it's cold, but guys, they still have to eat. And there's no other bait out there that does a better job of imitating a school of bait than an Alabama rig, all right? It really does mesmerize the fish into biting. And I've seen the Alabama rig down south, places like Kentucky Lake, Pickwick, all the Tennessee River impoundments, Seminole, down in Georgia, on the Georgia-Florida border, Toledo Bend, Lake Fork. I've seen the Alabama rig in the month of December catch them when nothing else will. It's mesmerizing to the fish. But guys, the deal that I like in December is a smaller than normal Alabama rig. My favorite two, basically, this is one by a company called Shane's Baits, and this is called a Mini Blades of Glory. So it's an Alabama rig, but it's more compact. I really love this one. You don't need big specialty rods. You could fish it literally on like a 7.6 medium heavy. And I downsize everything. I'm using anywhere from quarter, maybe up to 3/8 jig heads. So downsizing my jig heads and downsizing my baits. If you notice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2.8 swimmers on the back, okay? You don't need big minnows, big swim baits on the back. Just the regular 2/8. And this is the Power Swimmer by Berkley. I really, really love the smaller swim baits. When that thing's coming through the water with those little blades, looks just like a school of baitfish. Now, the other one I want to show you guys is a brand new triple Minnow Rig. And this is by Berkley. This is sort of part Alabama rig, part minnow shaker. Has the same theory of the Alabama rig, multiple baits. This one is nice. If you're fishing in a place that only allows one hook, this is a great alternative. Another good one. In either case, guys, the Alabama rig has to be on your top 4 of December baits, especially if you live down south. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video talking about my top 4 baits for the month of December. It's getting cold. It's winter time. It's Christmas, the holiday, all that. But the fish still have to eat, and the fish will still bite. Try those 4 lures. I promise you, in the month of December, you're going to catch some bass. Guys, I hope you enjoy these shop videos. If you like what you're watching, if you like what you're hearing, subscribe to the channel. It's right down there. Subscribe to the channel. When you do that, we got all sorts of special stuff just for you. If you're already subscribed, please tell your fishing friends, tell your fishing buddies about the channel. It's Mike Iaconelli on YouTube. We're here to hopefully help you catch a few more fish. I hope you enjoyed this shop, talking about my top 4 baits for the month of December. Bye.